October 13, 9:36 a.m. District Court Defense Lobby number 4. Hello and welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. We are continuing where we left off, and that's the beginning of the trial. Hey Nick. What is it? Is something wrong? Nah, but did you see all the people here? It's crazy. Oh, so check out the mask glossy I brought. You brought this? Where? From the little tents from the courthouse. They have all sorts of things for sale. You know, I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff. A shot of Master Mask striking a pose. Come on, I'm guilty. Throw the book at me. Who's screaming like that? Oh, Mr. Guy, you made it. Yeah, I did, but it doesn't look like things are going to get any less ugly for you. Because I did it. I'm the criminal, me. He said it again. I sent the calling card to Lord Taylor, I admit it. But you don't have the sacred yarn, right? Well, that's true, but that doesn't mean that I didn't commit a crime. Normally, when I say, of course you didn't, I'm being sarcastic, but you... Yikes. Anyway, I admit that I'm guilty. So make sure they give me a guilty verdict, please. Oh, there you are, Ronnie. Bonjour, sweetie. Oh, Bessie, honey. Bonjour. Well, actually, I don't really know why I should be speaking French to you at a time like this. Leave it all to me, Ronnie. I swear I'll protect you. Uh, you see, actually, the thieves is me. Can I tell you something, Nicky boy? I can guarantee that Ronnie is innocent. If he's declared guilty, I'll be ever so cross with you. So why are you smiling when you say that? Say it? Well, if you excuse me, I got some errands I need to take care of. Okay, I'm counting on you, Nicky boy. Good luck. To be honest, I really don't know whether Ron is the masks or not. But there's only one thing I am sure of. He doesn't have the sacred yarn right now. Mr. Lilith, it's time for you to enter the courtroom. For the time being, I guess I have to trust the Siri. And there he is, Godot. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron DeLitt. The defense is ready, Your Honor. What about the prosecution? Are you prepared to... What a stupid question. What did you say? Fine, let me ask you then. Your Honor, are you ready? Are you ready to pass judgment? No, I'm not. I will pass judgment after I hear argument from both sides. Well, if you're not ready yourself, you shouldn't expect others to be. That's a rule to live by. Who are you? I am Godot. Legendary prosecutor. I never lost a case. He's the one that Detective Atomy was talking about. Yes, your reputation precedes you. What kind of case have you dealt with so far? None. What did you say? I never prosecuted a case before. Never? But you said you never lost before. Exactly. I never lost. I never won before either. Quite arrogant for a beginner, aren't you? Even the mightiest of the Redwoods begin their lives as mere saplings. Yes, but a mask in court of law? Don't you know anything? Don't you know anything? No matter the man, we all wear masks, either on our faces or over our hearts. This guy is the real deal, alright, Nick? Why does it seem like all prosecutors are the real deal? So, we finally meet Mr. Phoenix Wright. Nick? Is he a friend of yours? No, I don't have any friends that call me Wright. Just who is this masked man? I returned from the depths of hell to do battle with you. Well then, Prosecutor Gobo? It's not Gobo, it's Godot, Your Honor. In any case, please give your opening statement. Opening statement? Those things are not fit for even dogs to consume. I have only one thing to say before we start to you, Mr. Wright. What is it? Are you familiar with the saying, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link? I wonder how much you can withstand before you and your case break in two. Well then, let's hear from the first witness. My name is... No one has asked for your name, witness. The important thing is what you know, that's all. Start talking. We're listening. Yes, sir. Alright, witness. First, let's hear about what you know about the thief that stole the urn. Yes, sir. Master Mask is a master thief that first started his crime spree 6 months ago. He's so confident that he sends his calling card before he even commits the crime. This was his 5th heist, and as usual he sent a card on to Lordy Halo. His pattern is to always go after only the most precious art pieces. That's why we're sure it was Master Mask, sir. It fits his MO to a T. So then, the actual identity of this Master Mask is Mr. Godot. What are you? We're in the middle of trial here, Mr. Godot. Blacker than a moonless night. Hotter and more bitter than hell itself. That is coffee. I'm sure you can grant me at least this much, Your Honor. Oh, please proceed. Very well. It's only coffee after all. What? You can't be letting him slide this early in the trial? Proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Well, Nick, what are you going to do? As long as they haven't brought up Delict's identity, all we can do is show that it wasn't Master Masters who stole the urn. Master Mask is a master thief. Have you been involved in the investigations from the beginning? Yup, nobody knows more about the thief than me, pal. It's true, I'm a very awful on thieves. Awful? He's written books about thieves? I think he probably meant to say a faulty. The fact that this guy can slip through even my fingers shows how good he is, pal. It's easy when those fingers happen to be butterfingers. So nobody knows more about the thief than you, huh? You got it, pal, except maybe for the thief's mom, that is. But isn't there someone who knows even more about him than the police? You don't mean Detective Savari, do you? Who is this person, Savari? He sounds German. His name is Look at me, sir. I guess I shouldn't have made up such a silly name for him. What the heck, I guess he's not all that famous after all. Anyway, it's true that he did manage to retrieve the last item the thief stole. Oh, I see. It seems you're not the expert you claim to be. It looks like the thief is toying with me even now. He's so confident that he sends his calling card before he even commits the crime. Have you seen all these so-called calling cards? Of course I have, except the person in charge of the treasure exhibit never brought the card to the police, so I didn't see this one until after the crime occurred. That's because Detective Acme stopped Miss Andrews from taking it to the police. Was the calling card from Lord Taylor received authentic? Well, all the cards have one common identifying feature, but we're not releasing that information to the general public. But you're absolutely certain that the card is real. Gumshoe can't say it out loud, but he's talking about the mask emblem. This was his 5th heist, and as usual, he sent a card on this. His 5th heist and your 5th screw up, huh? Objection, pal. That ain't fair. Maybe you could say I screwed up 4 times, but this last time wasn't my fault. I didn't know about the calling card this time. You of all people shouldn't be chuckling of this, Detective Gumshoe. I just wanted everyone here in the courtroom to know something. If you ever get a calling card from this guy, don't call some stupid private eye. Call your local police right away. Got me? Wow, it looks like he's really got it in for Detective Acme. His pattern is to always go after the art pieces, like what, for example? Well, his first target was the famous Tear of Emanon. What's that? Some kind of especially salt teardrop? No, sir, it's a blue diamond, a single rare diamond. Next was the crown of Bongora. You know, the thing you put on your head. After that, it was the left hand of Hades, and then the portrait of Magiana. So, Detective Acme retrieved the portrait of Magiana and returned it to the museum. And the target of his 5th and last robbery was the sacred urn, right? But isn't it difficult for him to dispose of such famous art pieces? Well, we assume he must have some underworld connection. Somehow the lit doesn't look the type. Yeah, he's a little too sunny to be hanging out in the underworld. That's why we're sure it was Master Mask. It fits his MO to a T. What do you mean, you say, it fits his MO to a T? I was thinking of asking the same thing myself. I wish you would listen a little more closely, pal. First of all, there is the calling card, where we are 100% certain it's authentic. Then there's the fact that he seems to know all about the security system. And finally, his target was an art piece. These are all parts of the thief's modus operandi. And so since this robbery seems to fit all those conditions, that's right, it means that Master Mask is behind this. Nick, it definitely looks like it was Master Mask who stole the urn, but there's no real evidence either way as to whether Ron the Lit is Master Mask. But also the urn hasn't turned up yet, let alone in connection to Mr. the Lit himself. So even though we know it was Master Mask that did it, maybe for the time being, I should try to show it wasn't Master Mask that did it. It's a massive... What do I have for evidence? He's so confident he sends his calling card before he even commits a crime. This was his fifth heist and usually it is the most precious... The most precious art pieces. It does. I don't see any. Really. Objection. Okay. Okay. Is ammo to a T. Maybe the urn. Yep. I chose the wrong one. Can I ask you a little something, Detective Gumshoe? Just hearing the little in a question is making me nervous. You said that he always goes after the most precious art pieces, right? That's right, pal. But there's one problem. That's not what he did in this case. The supposedly priceless urn doesn't exactly rise to the level of precious art. What do you mean? Nick, how can you say such terrible things? No, I meant from a financial point of view. I mean, it wouldn't fetch a good price. Well, Prosecutor Godot, what is the value of that urn? The appraiser I spoke to said they couldn't attach a price to it, and I mean that in the worst sense. So, in other words, it was not the kind of item that Master Mask would normally go after. If I understand you correctly, Mr. Wright, you're saying that the theft of the sacred urn was not the work of Master Mask? Yes, that's what I'm saying. Actually, all I did was point out the contradiction. The argument made itself, but... Well, first of all, we need to get this issue cleared up. What was this last robbery the work of Master Mask or not? What do you have to say about this, Mr. Godot? This coffee here, it's my own special blend. It's called Godot 107. I'm trying to decide whether to cut down on the acidity or the bitterness. That's the only thing I got on my mind right now, Mr. Wright. What? If you're really a man, you should clean up your own mess. Sorry, but I don't get what you mean. If you're saying it wasn't Master Mask that stole that urn, then it must be someone imitating Master Mask methods, a fake. A fake Master Mask. A fake the mask. That sounds so ridiculous, but I like it. Now, before I decide on my coffee, I believe some proof is in order, Mr. Wright. Proof that the person who appeared at Lord Taylor that night was actually a fake. I thought though I don't approve of Mr. Godot's behavior, his point is valid. Mr. Wright, we're waiting. Okay, yes. I just need to check one thing. we have a picture of him here, and then wait, around his neck there is a big that's not here. It looks like I'm going to have to prove it. I need proof that the person in Lord Taylor that night was the fake. What? Okay, what am I supposed to show? The proof is right here. This looks like a photo taken by a security camera, but if you look closely, you notice something peculiar about it. Huh. Well then, why don't you go ahead and show us what it is? Go on, use this point and show us what. There. It's right here, of course. You mean Master Mask. Have you here? I have here a piece of reference I would like the court to take a look at. Isn't the publicity photo I bought this morning? Isn't that the publicity photo I bought this morning? The problem I have with the security camera's photo is the brooch on the mask's chest. A breach? Here, bailiff, get my steed. We need to retreat at once. A brooch, Your Honor. It's a sort of clasp for holding one's cape on. A clasp? I see now. But the Master Mask in the security camera photo? He has no brooch. That brooch is the same as the emblem on the mask's calling card and serves as his symbol. But the thief that broke into Lordy Taylor wasn't wearing a brooch. In other words, this Master Mask is a fake. I've been fooled again. Order? It's true, undeniably true. Detective Gumshoe, how could you have overlooked this? I'm sorry, sir. I don't know how I... Hey now. If you're gonna have a pity party, invite me too. Mr. Godot, you deserve some blame in this too. How could you have overlooked such a large brooch? The brooch you're talking about. Do you mean this? That's the mask brooch. Where did you find it? Well, I always had a good nose for evidence. I got it at the crime scene. It was hidden in the shadows of a big female Buddha statue. Buddha statue? You must mean the Amy Faye statue. Why didn't you tell me about that, sir? I always put evidence away in my pocket. After all, it's the safest place for crucial evidence. This guy is one cool customer. It's a little early to be shaken up, isn't it? Isn't it, little lady? That friend of yours left pretty little hickeys on there too. Hickeys? Figuratively speaking, of course. I'm referring to Gondelit's fingerprints. What? The defendant's fingerprints are on the brooch? Order in the court. Mr. Godot, let's see that brooch. I'm going to attach to my metallic girlfriend here. Take good care of her. It appears to have been torn off some clothing. There's a little bit of cloth left on the back. Obviously, there must have been a big struggle that night at the crime scene. Oh, Phoenix, we have a problem. Found the stat in the shadows of Amy Faye's statue. Looks like it was torn off some clothing. You mess with Godot, and you get burned. It's been playing me like a violin. Well, Judge, I'm about to ready to call my next witness. Huh? You're done with me? But I haven't proved anything yet. You've proven your own incompetence. That's good enough. That doesn't sound good at all. Bailiff, bring the next witness into the court. Finally, time for the ace detective to make his appearance. Huh? One second is one drip of the coffee pot. Let's hurry it up. Shh. Silence. Now I see. It's all becoming clear. What's clear? Savari. The truth has once again been elegantly revealed to me. What we have here is the judge and prosecutor, a judge and a prosecutor, a coffee maniac at that. Am I correct? Well, yes, that's right. Not bad at all. You're the first person that ever been able to penetrate my secret veil. Well, Sir Prosecutor, let me introduce myself. My name is Look At Me, Ace Detective, and the rising star illuminating the heavens. Boy, these two make a perfect pair. They either be best friends or they tear each other heads off. I heard that on the night of the crime, you were all alone on security detail. You have heard correctly. My special-made monocle is worth more than 100 Detective Gumshoes. If Detective Gumshoe was worth anything, that is. Why was this guy all by himself anyway? There must be some reason. I'm sure of it. Well then, tell us what this special monocle of yours witnessed.
What I witnessed. It was approximately 1 o'clock in the morning, just after the day change. That's when my nemesis, the infamous Mask the Mask, dancingly descended upon me. Just as I began to turn, the coward struck a fierce blow for my mobile head. Darkness swallowed me before I could land a single strike. When I awoke, he was gone. 30 minutes later, I used an emergency phone to notify the police. So you didn't get a clear look at the criminal. My specially made monocle never missed a thing. However, that is limited to things that fall within my own visual range. But of course, that's only natural. I fail to see why the witness seems to be proud of his performance that evening. Well, so old-timer? We are not speaking of any ordinary thief, but of the king of thieves, the greatest Mask the Mask. The great Mask the Mask, my arch-enemy. That is what my instincts and my years of experience tell me. Very well. Proceed with the cross-examination, right? So that would be 1 o'clock on the morning of the 12th, correct? That is an impressive deduction, Sir Lawyer. You were on security duty that night. Where exactly were you at the time? A penetrating question. I was in the basement warehouse near the computer. Near the computer, huh? So then you weren't trying to remain hidden, I take it. Up to this point, I have tried to remain concealed while waiting for the thief. Yeah, he said the same thing yesterday too. Gumshoe also said that they never spotted the thief at the crime scene before. Precisely. This is precisely why I chose not to hide last night. I knew that by not concealing myself, it would be putting pressure on the thief. Looks like the thief was the one applying pressure. One your pigeony head, that is. In any case, that's when my nemesis, the infamous Master Moss, dancingly descended upon me. Dancingly descended? From where exactly? Well, from the entrance, I suppose. Where else? So, in actually, he neither danced nor descended. Someone please save me. So how is it that you didn't notice the thief? My eyes were looking for the thief's shadows. The thief's shadow while my ears listened for his footfalls. But even so, the dastardly criminal managed to sneak up on me. It can only be due to his subtle camouflage cape and soft-soled shoes. I hereby dub you Ace Duns. Just as I began to turn, the coward stopped me a fierce blow upon my noble head. You didn't see the criminal face when that happened? Well, that's the difficult part. How should I put it? I saw his mask. That's all that I can recall. That's not very solid as far as my temporary testimony goes. However, fortunately, I had my third monocle, the security camera at the ready. I captured his image perfectly. This should be evidence. Should be sufficient, I believe. Well, as long as this photo is authentic, I don't see a problem here. Well, Mr. Godot, do you have a problem with with the photo? Good, then let's continue with the testimony. Button swallow me before I could. Attacked and knocked unconscious, and you weren't able to do a thing? That's certainly some very impressive detective work. Well, Sir Lawyer, have you ever been suddenly struck on the head? Well, actually, yes. By a fire extinguisher. And what happened? I was knocked out. And you lost your memory too. You see, you have no right to look down on me then, do you? The only reason I didn't lose my memory was because I have more brains to begin with. He may have brains, but his wiring to the self-reflection part seemed to be severed. In any case, that was how I was knocked senseless, and then 30 minutes later I used an emergency phone to notify the police. About this 30 minutes, my silver cord was loosened and my soul fled to the golden halls of Elysium. Silver cord was loosened and my soul fled to the golden halls of Elysium. As usual, I have no idea what this guy is saying. I think he's saying that he was out cold. So what happened during these 30 minutes? No one can say on it. That span of time was fully vanished into the ether. Just what is he going on about? There's something suspicious about Detective Atme. How could he not have noticed when the thief came in? Also, he says he was knocked unconscious before he could fight back, but that can't be right. It contradicts the evidence, huh? Which piece? The real question is, why would he tell such an obvious lie? I was approximately... Okay, what do I have for evidence? That's when my nemesis, the infamous mathematician, on me, so that I began to turn. How struck a fierce blow upon my head. So, I think I found it. Darkness swallowed me before I could land a single strike. When I awoke, he was gone. The mask brooch, found in the shadows of Amy's face statue, looks like it was torn off by some clothing. Yeah, I was right. Mr. Atman, could you take a look at this with that special monocle of yours? This belonged to the criminal mastermind, my arch nemesis, Mask the Mask. It is, in point of fact, Mask the Mask's brooch. It was found on the floor on the basement warehouse. I wonder how that happened. Elementary, my dear lawyer. Obviously, it wasn't glued on well enough. Not quite. It clearly shows signs of having been ripped off a piece of clothing. Ripped off. Ah. We can only deduce that the thief struggled with someone that night. That's the only thing I can think of. And there's only one person that was in a position to have struggled with the thief. The only person that was on security duty that night. You, Detective Hackney. Detective Hackney, you must have fought with the thief that night. So, why did you lie in your testimony to the court? Witness, giving false testimony is a serious crime. No. Wait just a moment, so old-timer. Don't talk to me like I'm living in a nursing home. I just remembered, Your Honor. I was just confused because I've been dealing with so many cases lately. The true measures of a man is the amount of work he does. That's what I always say, Nick. You can only handle one case at a time, isn't that right? You talk too much. Witness, so are you now saying that you and the thief fought? Hold on. That's quite enough, Your Honor. Excuse me? Say the big question for the testimony. That's one of my rules. Indeed, I understand. I look at me, agree completely. Indeed, it's true that I looked away from the door for a brief moment. However, look at me cannot be easily discombobulated. I did not pronounce it right. Unfortunately, the thief grabbed a weapon from the side and rendered me senseless. A true gentleman fights only with his own fist, but they were not enough. His first blow stuck through, bam, and that's all she wrote. So in the end, you did catch a glimpse of Mask the Mask. Correct. That was during his third crime that he struck me from behind. It seems that my memory has become a tad jumbled, so to speak. Well, that's certainly understandable. I myself always get confused about which testimony goes with which case. That can't be good. Indeed, it's true that I do it. So why did you look away from the door anyway? In addition to the camera, I had prepared a varieties of other sensors as well. The alarm on one of those had gone off, so I had to check the data. That's why I went to the computer, elegantly of course. So you were momentarily vulnerable when you were working on the computer. What should I do? Should I ask for more questions? What kinds of sensors are you talking about? There are other plants in the basement that someone could enter and exit from. There are air conditioner ducts, sewer pipes, and cat doors as well. I hook up heat detecting in infrared and ultraviolet sensors to each of them. There's a lot of hardware. Was it all yours? Lordly Taylor department store was kind enough to provide the monitoring hardware. Naturally, the security camera that took the photo belonged to them as well. In other words, he couldn't have rigged the equipment. That cleared up any doubts you had about me, Sir Lawyer? However, Look at Me cannot be so easily discombobulated. What does that mean, discombobulated? Young people these days, they really irritate me. They allow perfectly good old words to die until everyone forgets what they mean. Sorry, but what exactly does it mean anyway? Now I've forgotten. What was it saying? Jeez, it's better than old people who forget what they were saying 5 seconds ago. Well, it looks like we've cleared that up. You can go with your testimony. What do you mean by weapon from the side? Naturally, that thief had no idea that I, Look at Me, was hiding in the area. He grabbed the sword from the statue that was standing by the door to the warehouse. Sword? You mean the sword that was all twisted like a tree branch? Correct. Unfortunately for me, the blade was not sharp. Fortunately for me, the blade was not sharp. Okay, so he's talking about the Shishito. So the thief armed himself with a sword, and what about yourself, witness? You had much faith in your own fighting abilities. But of course, in college I was second in charge of the boxing club. I'm sorry if I failed to find that appropriately impressive. However, my opponent in the ring this time was my arch nemesis, Master Mask. This guy is a real piece of work. My first blow struck true, bam, and that's all she wrote. Can you tell a little more about what happened? My opponent was both powerful and vicious. You might say he was vicious. I assume that he had me fighting stance, but a sudden flash of light blinded me. That of course was checkmate. My opponent had bested me. What do I do now? So what was this flash of light that blinded you? I was bathed in a golden light that seemed to come from the statue of the woman. The statue of Amy Faye, I'm guessing? Well, that wasn't very much help at all. Well, what do you think? Well, there's one thing that I'm absolutely sure now. Yeah, what is it? This Look at Me guy is definitely hiding something. But why? I think I'm starting to figure out what really happened that night, and about the true nature of this detective. Let's ask about the other thing. So the computer belonged to Lord Taylor as well? Correct. Well, except for the program that manages the data. That was specially designed by me. Look at me. In that case, he could have easily manipulated the data. What's wrong, Sir Lawyer? What is this at me fighting style? I'm sorry, but that's great secret I really can't say anymore. But I suppose I can tell you if I actually must. The main thing is to put your back to the wall. That way no one can get behind you. That's it. That's the at me fighting style. Well, Mr. Wright, what about the testimony? No, it was very important. Of course it's important. We learned the detective technique after. Yes, indeed. I'll remember to use it if I ever take a walk alone late at night. Why the heck is he eyeballing me like it's creeping me out? Now then, witness, we'll go ahead and add that secret information to our test. Yeah, okay. The wall, fight the feast, blow, land. Where is this third eye you're talking about? It's right between my left and right. It's between my right and left eyebrows. It's quite invincible to the unlightened. It's quite invisible to the unlightened. You may call it the forehead if you like. Why didn't you just say that in the first place? So Lawyer, it looks like the creases in your own forehead are getting deeper. Miss Anne got hit on the forehead, eh? That's what he says. I got a funny feeling about that, actually. So do I. Well, what do you think, Nick? There's one thing I'm actually sure of now. Yeah? Or what is it? What is it? This look at me guy, he's definitely hiding something. But why? Yeah. Okay. I know what present. Detective at me. Your testimony is crumbling like a house of cards. What fun this is, Sir Lawyer. It is truly a pleasure to cross swords with you. And now once again, you have thrown down the gauntlet at my armored feet. I believe this is what you said yesterday. No, the coward must have wormed his way in through somewhere besides the door. Then my arch nemesis struck me on the head from behind with the gruesome item here. From behind, huh? But just now you testified that he struck you on the forehead. I hardly think you could forget where you were hit on the head. It seems I made another mistake. Detective at me, that's not the only strange part of your testimony. What do you mean by that? For example, the very fact that you hid the calling card from the police itself is strange. It's almost as if you were afraid they were going to help with. It's almost as if you were afraid they were going to help with security. Genius such as myself, always been misunderstood. How sad. That's wrong. To err is human. To forgive is divine. Humans are machines. Humans aren't machines. They have souls, feelings. They live, they die, they love, they hate. And yes, they even make mistakes. Hey, hold on, it's not as pretty as that. Really? What is it like then? Always chase a little down to the end. That's one of my rules. This is it. This might just be my chance to turn things around. Mr. Wright, what exactly is this? Is that you are asserting? Very, Your Honor. The defense asserts that Mr. Atme is Master Mask. The answer is simple. It's all clear to me now. Detective, look at me. Who identity is actually Master Mask? Order in the court, Mr. Guy. What is the meaning of this? There are too many unnatural parts of Mr. Atme's story. He says he was hiding at the crime scene, which is why no one ever saw him there. And then, in his last case, he managed to outperform Detective Gumshoe, the entire police force, to miraculously retrieve the stolen treasure. That's because I analyzed the crime scene data and made an exquisitely elegant deduction. I picked up clues that the police overlooked in order to arrive at a... Oh, please. The explanation is far simpler than that, Detective Atme. The truth is that you are in fact Master Mask. But Mr. Wright, this photo clearly shows Master Mask. This security camera belongs to Lord Taylor's department store. He shouldn't have been able to manipulate it. He didn't need to manipulate it. He gained access to the warehouse under the pretense of providing security. Then he simply dressed up as the thief and stole the urine. So the ace detective is actually the ace thief? Is this true, witness? Ha. Oh. Master Masks. The Mask's MO is pure genius, and so am I. Look at me, ace detective. You're very clever to have come to such a conclusion. I am impressed, Sir Lawyer. What? Witness, you're admitting it? Nick, now's your chance. Yes, time to put the last nail in the coffin. Detective Atme, when you assume... Godot Len, 102. My personal favorite. Mr. Godot? The ace detective is actually an ace thief. I smell a best-selling novel. There's only one problem. It simply isn't true. But Mr. Godot, Mr. Guide has made some very strong points, and I will admit my opponent has woven a compelling narrative out of a whole cloth. But it is in fact nothing more than a patchwork quilt. Mr. Wright, if this detective really is the thief, then shows the proof of your claim. But it had better be as hot as perfect as the coffee dripping down your face. Well, Mr. Wright, don't just stand there. This court would like to see the decisive proof you have quickly. Ah yes, of course. What's the big rush? Are you alright, Nick? Edmund looks pretty rattled gladly right now. I'd like to finish this right now if I can. But can I really do it? The decisive evidence that proves that look at me is fact. Okay, what proof do I have? Has yet to be found. Oof. Of course I got nothing. Ah, just what I thought. A man has to hold his head up high no matter how bad things get after all. Ah, I see. I thought perhaps you had some evidence to back up your assertion. This is no good. I got to stay on the attack. I never get another chance to prove this guy is a thief. Don't give up, Nick. Think harder and try again. It's no good. I'm just not ready yet. But are you going to just give up and let us lose this? So you come to your sense, have you, Sir Lawyer? I can't think of a counterattack at all. It seems the cloud of suspicion surrounding this witness has lifted. Mr. Godot, if you have anything further to add... What? Who? Who are you? That doesn't really matter right now, does it? Mr. DeLitt, what are you doing here? Nicky boy. Yeah, I'm going to end it right here. So, thank you for watching. And we'll continue with probably her testimony or something. So, thank you for watching. Have a great day and adios.